So you're starting work on a big build, like a big build. Think big build, think massive build. You're thinking too small. Go one bigger than that. Just one bigger than that. Hold that in your head. It's still half the size. Go one more bigger than that, and you're set. This is my boy Pat. He's great. He's incredible. What he does is save redstone over big areas. Well, Pat stands for pulse addressable, and get this bit, toggle. There are 4 parts to Pat: the input, the counters, the timeout pulse extender, and the output. When pulses are put into the input, the counters will count through the items you've put into them until they have passed their lower limit and reached their upper limit. But they can't go above their upper limit because obviously it's an upper limit. That's the point. Don't go above it. By changing the items in each of these counters, you can reprogram the entire contraption without changing anything else. I'd just like to thank everyone for getting me to 1K subs. We're going to push for 10K by the end of 2021. We're going to get there. It's not even an issue. And if you like the content and you keep coming back, hit subscribe. It's absolutely free. It helps. It really helps. So does liking. You're going to be helpful, you just go click that little button. You go click. I'm going to go into a rant now about why it's so good. Now then, where the hell can you use it? Where is it useful? Where am I using it anyway? Why is it here? That's a good question. Why is it here? Well, you see, I got sick of Citadel. It's a shitty prison. It was a fun experiment. The experiment worked. Many eyes, very cool. But actually, my issue with the Citadel was the cabling in it. The actual cells and such, thanks to World Edit, great thing, took maybe 2 days, and it came to being about 200 cables, each 250 blocks long, and I'm not doing it again. So Pat makes my life easy. The pulse part means that I can send a redstone pulse every 2 ticks to communicate with it. The addressable bit means that each contraption, each unit is communicated with based on the address you've programmed into it. And the toggle bit is just a toggle, it's not interesting. So on Pat, there are 2 counters. One defines the upper limit for an address, and the other defines the lower limit. Clapping your hands 7 times, and a particular person comes with. God, I need to come up with a good analogy for this. So the counters work like this. One counter says that the pulses sent can't be higher than a particular number. And the second counter says that it has to be more than another number. So if I set my first counter to 8, the pulse can't be higher than 8, otherwise it won't count. Second counter to 7, it has to have received at least 7 pulses in order to work. This means that you can define groups based on numbered addresses, and it doesn't have to be a 1 number gap. You can have it spread over 20 numbers, so you can have a corridor that responds to everything between numbers 5 and 25, or 50 and 100, and it's cool. It's cool as hell, which is interesting in the way it works, because what it will do is it will define. Obviously, I'm not a redstone person. I am a logic person, and I don't like redstone because it has limitations. 2.5 pulses per second, or 4 pulses every second, because that's the speed that hoppers process items. Also, you can only really send a tick every 10th of a second, which isn't useful, considering if I wanted to build, say, a computer, and maybe I will, so get subscribed for that, I would have to run it at a maximum speed of 10 Hertz. For comparison, the computer I'm recording this on has a CPU currently running at 3.8 gigahertz, so 3.8 million hertz. 380,000 times faster than what that would do. Next up, Redstone will only work when it's loaded in, and the loading distance is 8 chunks in every direction, including the one you're in, which limits the size of contraptions. So obviously, if that limit were extended or removed, Pat would be a lot more useful. But for now, you take what you can get, and if you needed to reference, say, 50 addresses, it would take 20 seconds, which doesn't take too long. It's not too bad. But if you wanted to speed that up, you don't have to, have 50 addresses on the same cable. You can have 50 addresses, 5 cables. So yeah, that's the limitations. Obviously, you're going to need extra pieces like a pulse generator and the pulse regulator, and I have those in a world for you now. Link to the Discord is in the description. You come there, get the world, you can have all the contraptions, world edit them into your own folders and use them in your own places. It's great. I share my wisdom. Very wise. 50 cables for 50 different things. You can use 2 cables and 50 of these contraptions for 50 different things. I'm using Pat in Kaiju, the big prison with the 64 cells, and I'm not wiring it up in the same way as I did with this. Took a while to make. Well, not a while to make, like it took me a day, but give me a sub.